Part 74. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yu Yet. Chapter 731. Ai Hayasaka, the Student Council Chore. All Student Council members have a monthly supplement of 100,000 yen. It's a pity that the current relationship between the president and the vice president seems not to be very good, and they seem a bit hostile. Make the atmosphere in the student union a little anxious. The student union has a lot of work. And it's compact, too. While Oreki was reviewing the documents, he discovered a plot from the original work. Very bad. Brother schools in France will come to our college for a friendly visit and fellowship next week. And this matter has not been notified yet, Shinomiya Kagaya said while looking at the information. What on earth is the principal doing? She accepted her fate and could only be the vice president. Anyway, this bad guy, Oreki senpai, was also dragged into the student union, and he had to do more than her. She could barely accept this ending. For Oreki-san, at Inkyose High School, sometimes Kosake Anaga would delegate work to her love rival and tool man for dating, and sometimes Oreki would do things with her that could not be delegated. So there is no big problem in doing it. The social gathering proposed by Kagaya now is a plot of the original work. In the original work, the principal was not very satisfied with Shirogane, so he deliberately suppressed the news and treated it as an assessment of Shirogane. And now, Oreki had never met the principal, but he also suppressed the news of this incident. It seems that the principal is not friendly enough either. As the student council president, Oreki-san immediately ordered, Shinomiya senpai, go and inform each class about the French student welcome party to be held next week. Fujiwara senpai coordinated various classes to find volunteers willing to attend the welcome party for French students. As for Hayasaka senpai's statistics on the material support needed to hold a welcome party, it must be accurate, such as the types of food and snacks provided. Ichino-san assisted Hayasaka senpai in converting money and making purchases. Yes. X4. Oreki-san's arrangement is correct. This was the principal's fault, but he quickly took over the mess. The top priority is not to find out who is responsible, but to solve the problem as soon as possible. Oreki-san's instructions are correct. Having so many people operating at the same time can save a lot of time and improve efficiency. But Kagaya discovered a problem. The tasks have been handed out, so what is the president going to do? One word startled the dreamer. Yes. Everyone has been assigned tasks, but what about President Oreki as the president? What is he doing? Didn't he do nothing? The so-called student council president. Oreki-san crossed his hands on the table as if prepared, showing an air of magnanimity, confidence, and calmness. It's not like you need to do everything yourself. But as a commander-in-chief, do you want a commander-in-chief to do the work of a small soldier? Then what else do you need a commander-in-chief to do? The most important thing for the student council president is to appoint people to assign, and then I will take action when you can't do it. Or do you think that this level of work cannot be completed now? Then I'm disappointed. You who I value so much are so useless. Like, darling, Dad is very disappointed in you. The words are general. What he said made sense, and everyone was speechless. And Kagaya regrets a little bit that she gave up her identity as the student council president. Because if she was still the student council president, then she could do it as easily as Oreki-san. And seeing that they were still refusing to leave, Oreki-san continued. I still have something to do in this regard. The last student union had too many tasks piled up. Saying this, Chika Fujiwara began to look at the ceiling. Because she was the previous student council president. Indeed. She didn't finish her work while in office. Rather, she planned to leave it until next week. As a result, deposed by Kagaya-san. She is actually very innocent. Chairman Oreki continued. I have to sort through things here and pick out the things that need to be dealt with immediately. Or do you want to do this work together? Note that Oreki-san said that we should do it together, not that if you do this, you don't have to do other things. It means that staying will only reduce his burden. This is so heartless. We know. After listening to Oreki-san's words, 4 of the 4 people immediately ran out. Hayasaka and Ichinos have no experience in handling welcome receptions alone, so they are now heading to the archives room to prepare an estimate based on the handling conditions over the years. Considering that it would be troublesome to find information, the 2 of them left quickly. Oreki-san is the only one left in the entire student union of Nottingham University. Isn't this quite relaxing? Isn't Kosake Inaga's model of controlling the student union very effective? Make the best use of everything. Oreki-san thinks that becoming the student council president is quite good. However, after looking through some unprocessed documents and content, I found that not all of them require me to do it myself. So, considering efficiency, Oreki sent encouraging text messages to the members of the student council. At the same time, arrange for the disciplinary committee members and students who want to join the student union to come to the student union. And he himself went home. The next day, at about 8 o'clock in the morning, Oreki-san came to school. Private Chichi Academy. It was once an educational institution built for nobles and wealthy families, a prestigious school with a long history, but even now, it is the first choice of school for the children of wealthy noble families. And among them, the student council president, His Excellency Oreki Houtarou, wearing an absolutely pure gold necklace and a dark school uniform made him even more solemn. And even reading a book while walking will make people feel majestic. And now following him is Shinomiya Kagaya, the vice president of the student council. She is the daughter of the Shinomiya Foundation, one of the world's leading conglomerates. There is nothing to say about her being appointed as the vice president of the college where many children of powerful people belong. And she smiled softly, her whole person full of holiness and rich nobility. She has excellent attainments in all aspects, including music, martial arts, and acting. She is undoubtedly a talented woman. Just walking together like this will make people feel like a parade of big stars. In fact, the 2 of them were just on their way to the student union, and they were surrounded by students and used the gaze gift. I can hear them say something from time to time. Just looking at these 2 people gives me a sense of sacredness. I used to think that Oreki-senpai was just Shinomiya-san's puppet, but looking at it now, it seems that's not necessarily the case. And Oreki-senpai is very good looking. Such rumors. Under the expectant and envious eyes of the students, the 2 of them pushed open the door of the student union and walked in. Then they spent a peaceful day like this. How strange. The members of the student council, Vice President Shinomiya Kagaya, Secretary Fujiwara Chika, Accountant Hanamai Ichinos, and Chore Clerk Ai Hayasaka all gathered here. President Oreki, don't you think it's too much? Oreki-san is still the student council president, but as soon as he sat down, he was immediately criticized wildly by the members. It was very touching to suddenly receive your encouraging text message. But come back here. But you ran away. Only the members of the discipline committee and some ordinary students were left. What else is there to say? The real student council president knows that his subordinates are capable, so he assigns things to them, and makes good use of them, etc., but in the end, he actually runs away on his own. Ichino-san has a very righteous heart and immediately started to accuse on behalf of the members. Kinhua could not help but nod. Even Hayasaka I thought he was crazy. Shinomiya Kagaya spread out the documents on Oreki-san's desk and said, "It's not just that. The president told me that the president needs to do a lot of work, such as this kind of accumulated documents. The president said that you have to classify and select those that must be processed immediately." But she paused, Why did I hear that the president distributed the documents to the disciplinary committee members and classmates to handle? Look, this document also has a personal note from Oreki-kun. If I complete these documents seriously, can you invite me to join the student union? Treating important documents so casually. Then there may be irreparable flaws. You will be dismissed if you do this. Shinomiya Kagaya finally informed. It is very shameful to be dismissed because of excessive incompetence or excessive mistakes. But this kind of thing is not a big problem for Oreki. Because. Oh, really? Anyway, I don't want to be the president in the first place. It would be great if I could just get rid of it. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yu Yet. Chapter 732. And for you, senior sister Shinomiya, it's also a relief, isn't it? Liberation. After listening to Oreki-san's words, Shinomiya Kagaya's head immediately grew bigger. Oreki-san can be shameless, but she represents the Shinomiya family and cannot be so casual. Removing the student council president back and forth, changing several people in a month, will her Shinomiya family lose face? But Oreki-san seems to have continued working. After being accused, he handled the documents obediently. Oreki-san's attention was focused on the documents. Everyone discovered that the man who had just spoken out in frustration had already started working. Oreki-san quickly looked through the documents and found that about a third of the judgments there were actually wrong. It does cause problems. It seems that people cannot save energy with the tools they find work. So he quickly revised it. So fast. Amazing. Ichinose was already very good at Oreki-san's senses and admired his abilities. She couldn't help but sigh slightly when she saw his movements. The document just now needs to be calculated. If it is mental arithmetic. Kagaya thought in her mind, walked over, and found that Oreki-san had already made corrections. What's left aside is a completely correct approach to handling data. Kagaya had nothing to say. Speaking of it, Kagaya was a little curious. Your grades, oh no. No. Because they are in different grades, even if they want to compete in the exam, they cannot compete. I kind of want some tea, can I ask you for a favor? Shinomiya-san, at this time, Oreki-san suddenly raised his head and said. Okay. Kagaya didn't refuse. Shinomiya Kagaya is making black tea. In the upper-class aristocratic society, the demand for black tea has always been great. Her technique is very good. In just a moment, the fragrant fragrance spread throughout the room. In this environment, Oreki-san's mobility improved again. It took about 20 minutes to get rid of all the accumulated documents. What you need to worry about now is that there are too many of these files. Don't get confused, otherwise it will be troublesome to find them slowly. Because some documents need to be distributed to clubs and classes. However, because of the assistance of the disciplinary committee, all the documents that should be distributed to each class were handed over with their assistance. It can be said that you can breathe a sigh of relief. It was only when he started to taste Shinomiya Kagaya's handmade tea that he realized that none of the members were working. Chika Fujiwara is playing with her mobile phone. And Ichinose was in a daze. Hayasaka AI is autistic. Hey. This is too much. Speaking of which, Oreki-san said, have you completed all the tasks assigned to you yesterday? Chapter 351. From Ichinose to Sakura, there seems to be no problem. Go. Although he took advantage of it, Oreki-san also checked the results of the student council members. I have read the list, and then the notice was also issued. When I was in school, I saw the notice posted on the bulletin board. The list of items that need to be purchased is also listed. Looks like you still have work to do, he said. And if there are no comments, then the allocation will happen now. There are currently only 4 members in the student union. When it comes to purchasing items, members need to purchase them in person. The original plan was for Oreki-san to let Hayasaka-san and Ichino's Hanamai go together. Among them, Hayasaka is the daughter of an internet company at school. She formed a hot girl group with 2 girls in the class. She is outgoing, but Oreki also knows that she is an all-purpose maid, and Ichino's lacks the experience of controlling money. Allowing Hayasaka AI to lead Ichino's, so it is right for these two to work together. Just as he was about to take the photo, he found Shinomiya Kagaya putting the black tea on his table and then opening her red lips. I think. How about letting Fujiwara-san and Ichino-san go together? Upon hearing this, Oreki-san immediately turned his head to look at Shinomiya Kagaya. Today, Kagaya still has her beautiful long black hair pulled up, and the corners of her mouth are slightly raised, as if she is smiling. Very cute. Probably, after she became the vice president, she found that it was easier to get in touch with people with this slightly approachable attitude, so she kept it that way. When speaking, Shinomiya Kagaya also smiled a little. She probably noticed Oreki-senpai looking at her. So he still maintained a smile openly and deliberately. Oreki-san can understand this smile. She did it on purpose. Shinomiya Kagaya and him were both banned from the student union. Even if you know that you can't hold another random election, otherwise what do you think of the student union? It is easy to lose credibility. So Kagaya can only be her vice president honestly. But Kagaya also retaliated against him for treating her as a tool to protect Ichino's, and now she is returned by the rebel general. Both were confined to the student union. They are considered equal to each other. But Shinomiya-senpai, you are going too far by letting Ichino's and Fujiwara Chika act together. Although it is fake, Chika Fujiwara is his ex-girlfriend. Broken up. And Ichino's was the one he jumped off a building to express his love for. Although the two are in the same student union, they don't seem to have any conflicts. It's just that something might go wrong if it's specifically pointed out now. But Kagaya kept smiling. If it was within reasonable limits and could cause Oreki a little trouble, she would still like to see it. Yes. Miss Kagaya is a bit evil now. Ichino-san and I. Well, after all, we are all related to the same boy. Speaking of which, Oreki-san broke up with me because of Ichino-san, right? Kinhua gently tapped her pink lower lip. The windows of the student union were open, and the wind blew the blue curtains and her long pink hair. This time Chika Fujiwara looks very good. But what she said was horrific. Because her relationship with Oreki was fake, she had confirmed it herself, but now she was not convinced. Don't get too into the drama, Fujiwara-senpai. I have no opinion. Ichino's hesitated and said. She is an accountant, so things like purchasing may fall on her head. But in the past, due to her family background and being responsible for such an important banquet, she had no confidence in the price of the items, so it was best to have someone help. Excellent. Oreki-san sighed a little when he saw his ex-girlfriend and current girlfriend looking innocent. If he had known earlier that the final choice would be to use Shinomiya Kagaya to make Chika give way, then he would not have had to spend so much time dating Fujiwara Chika in order to increase his popularity. Then the breakup happened again. It makes the current relationship a little messy. And Ichino's popularity is not as high as Chika's, so if she is with Chika, some people may think that Ichino's is a bad woman who steals men. It is also impossible to confirm whether Chika will say bad things about Ichino's. Therefore, it is still not possible for these two people to act together. So, he glanced at Kagaya Shinomiya, and then said calmly. The purchase is scheduled to be after school tomorrow, and on that day, Secretary Fujiwara has something to do so he can't go. Can I ask you for a favor? Hayasaka-san. As he spoke, Oreki-san smiled at Hayasaka AI. Hayasaka AI. The fact that Hayasaka Ai is Shino Miyakagaya's universal maid has been kept secret, not even Fujiwara Chika knows about it. But unfortunately, Oreki Houtarou found out. At this point, she has a weakness when facing Oreki Houtarou. And if it is confirmed that puberty syndrome really exists, then she is sure that there may be a problem on Miss Kagaya's side, so it is still beneficial to make friends with people who have experience with puberty syndrome first. So she nodded. If something happens to Fujiwara-san, there is nothing we can do. In this way, Hayasaka took over the chores very seriously. But Kinhua's cute brows moved. Tomorrow is not a club activity, and I am not going to do anything. Why do you say she is busy? Kinhua noticed that her phone vibrated. A message was received. Next time I take you to buy lottery tickets, and the winning amount will be given to you by Oreki senpai. Tisk. When Kinhua saw the text message, she was righteous and scoffed at it. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yu Yet. Chapter 733. Because. Is she the kind of person who will do anything for money? In this way. After realizing that everyone was looking at her, she decided to teach Oreki a lesson and show that she was not that kind of person. So. Indeed, I have something to do tomorrow afternoon, so I can't go. Kinhua immediately chose to sneak in. Kagaya's sharp eyes knew that this was Oreki-san's manipulation, but forget it. She just wanted to scare him anyway. And then the next day. Afternoon. Oreki-san and Shino Miyakagaya went shopping together. 3:20 p.m. Shino Miyakagaya's face was expressionless. Oreki-san's expression was expressionless. The two walked out of the school gate together under the curious gazes of the students who were still participating in their respective club activities. The car used was Shino Miyakagaya's family's private car. The whole body is black, and the driver is wearing a uniform and hat. Looks very reliable. Kagaya sat in the back row, and Oreki-san also sat up, keeping some distance from her. Two people belong to the same chair on both sides. For Shinomiya-san, it's rare for classmates to ride in your family's car, Oreki-san said. Yes. Kagaya seemed to have no soul. Maybe he can't accept the current situation. In fact, the same goes for Oreki-san. Scheduled activities for the following afternoon were hampered. Due to the weather, swimming lessons in physical education classes will resume soon, but the swimming pool has not been cleaned yet. Then students from class A in each of the 3 grades were recruited to clean. Unfortunately, Ichino's first-year class A was selected. A friend of Hayasaka-san's hot girl clique was injured in gym class, so she, as a best friend, had to help. In this way, both people assigned to work are busy. It's just that to welcome the French school's wedding party, all the items to be prepared need to be purchased as planned today, so. It turned out that while he was still idle in the student union, he and Shinomiya-san went to the shopping mall to go shopping. Kagaya didn't expect that it would turn out like this, and Oreki-san also didn't expect that he would come out with Shinomiya Kagaya. Oreki-san tricked Kagaya into escorting Ichino's, knowing that Kagaya would not have a good impression of him. And Oreki-san likes girls who are lowly type or very big. So the two sides don't like each other. The atmosphere between the two became very blank. Miss Shinomiya, the place has arrived. The car was parked in the underground garage of Lyoshima shopping mall. The car could not go any higher. Then let's go together, Oreki-san said to Shinomiya Kagaya. Kagaya nodded. She didn't have many opportunities to go out, so shopping was very novel. Even though Fujiwara Chika sometimes forcefully leads her out, she still has too little experience. Oreki-san walked in front. He knew that Kagaya's driver must have reported Kagaya's progress to his superior. Two bodyguards in black uniforms got out of a car from behind. This is the bodyguard of the Shinomiya family. Oreki-san doesn't really like the idea of having someone follow you and record your every word and deed. The former Oreki-san was in a Kyosei high school, and even though he knew that he would be rich in the future, he never wanted to reach this point. In fact, buying things doesn't need to be so complicated. As long as you pay money, you can get a counter attendant. If you want something, they will prepare it for you or even deliver it directly to you. But that's not possible now. First of all, the money used is the school's money, which needs to be saved from the perspective of funds, and not everything can be obtained by the commissioner. It is necessary to do it yourself. And Oreki-san touched his hair. Use favorability detector. Yes. 20. Shinomiya Kagaya's opinion of him is a bit low. It's just that although he is temporarily trapped here, Oreki is the one who wants to leave after all, so if Shinomiya Kagaya can be opened up and the other party can spontaneously protect Ichino's, then it is still necessary. So I have to add a little favor. Oreki-san seemed to be walking in front very relaxedly, and Shinomiya Kagaya followed him keeping a distance of 20 centimeters. But around the corner, Oreki-san suddenly grabbed her wrist. Go this way. Kagaya was stunned for a moment. But when he reacted, he found that his body had been hugged by Oreki-senpai like a princess. What the hell? Kagaya has high attainments in Aikido and Judo. It could be said that her body could instinctively fight back even when she was distracted, but she was horrified to find that she was being grabbed and hugged by Junior Oreki. Actually, it's as docile as a kitten. Where did her instinctive resistance go? Mall entrance. It's probably okay to get here. Oreki-san lowered Kagaya's body. Kagaya was probably a little dizzy because she ran too fast while being carried, so she rested for a few seconds. After finally finding her soul, she quickly pulled out her hand. Oreki-san, can I interpret your behavior as kidnapping? Shinomiya Kagaya has been well protected since she was a child, and she has never experienced being abducted. But after all, she was in the eldest ladies' academy, and she still heard some students talk about kidnapping. I don't think you think so. Then why are you bringing me here? Kagaya was puzzled. Because I think this is Shinomiya-san's wish. Oreki-san said. He had read the original work and knew that the fourth lady actually longed for friends, family love, and even doing things that ordinary girls do. But now it's to bring him closer to Kagaya Shinomiya, so it doesn't matter if he uses the art of language first. While speaking like this, Oreki-san gently brushed his soft hair. Dark green pupils stared at Shinomiya Kagaya. You can see that the other party seems to be a little shaken by his coquettishness. Although he is not narcissistic, Oreki still knows that his skin is very popular among girls. Because I think this is Shinomiya-san's wish. Oreki-san repeated his words again, his voice became gentle and his eyes became sincere. Shinomiya-san probably doesn't like the life of being followed all the time. My daily life consists of home and school, and from childhood to adulthood, I don't even have the opportunity to go out with my friends. I really want to walk to school on the road with a friend or even a classmate in the same class. I couldn't get permission to walk to school by myself on the grounds that security would be complicated and it would be dangerous not to be in a car. The only thing that can break this routine is that the car breaks down. The car breaks down halfway, so I can walk to school on my own willful request. Although I was scolded by the housekeeper later, I still felt it was worth it. Right, Shinomiya-san, you have had this experience, right? Oreki-san looked at Kagaya's face as he spoke. Her face is quite cute, especially her ruby-like eyes, which are very eye-catching. But this made Kagaya look up. You installed monitors in my house. Because what Oreki-san said was exactly her experience. However, even if someone is sent to supervise, it is impossible to understand her mood so well. Because it's weird. She is Kaguya Shinomiya of the Shinomiya family, the eldest daughter of the president, the actual leader of the Shinomiya family. How could she envy ordinary people and their ordinary lives? She was obviously so rich. I studied a little psychology, so I analyzed it. Oreki-san pushed up the non-existent glasses on the bridge of his nose and said, "Please believe this." "Do you believe it?" Indeed, what the other party pointed out was what she had always longed for. It's ridiculous, she is Shinomiya Kaguya, a member of the Shinomiya family, she actually desires this kind of thing. Most people wouldn't believe it. But the other party can tell it. Chapter 352 From Itchy Nose to Sakura, there seems to be no problem. Next. Alright. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yet. Chapter 734. She looked around curiously. I can trust you a little bit. It should be said that you do have something like puberty syndrome. I have heard this from Hayasaka several times. It's just that Kaguya didn't respond with absolute belief, but now. Maybe you can believe that there may really be extraordinary things in this world. After thinking for a moment, she said, as you said, there are indeed very few opportunities for me to be alone outside. Although I learned judo and aikido as required, I really can't go shopping freely according to my own ideas. Although this opportunity today is a bit annoying, I don't hate it. But I carry bodyguards with me. The bodyguards will not let me enter the store so freely. They will probably stop me and go shopping on my behalf. Speaking of this, Kaguya's mood seemed to be a little lower. Oreki-san said nonchalantly, as for bodyguards, no problem. This made Kaguya move her little shoulders. My bodyguards are not so easy to deal with. They'll just listen to the butler, and then. Kaguya didn't finish her words, probably because she felt depressed again. Oreki-san shook his head and put his hands on her shoulders. Now, turn back and look the other way. Have you seen your bodyguard? Kaguya opened her eyes wide. And when she looked around, all she saw were people she didn't recognize. So the problem you are worried about is no longer a problem, Oreki-san said, just go shopping according to the list normally. But, can I do this? Certainly. Oreki-san said casually, but things were not as simple as he said. Go back a few minutes. Kaguya's two bodyguards discovered that Kaguya was abducted by Oreki-san and immediately followed him. To them, Kaguya is a very important person to protect. If the eldest daughter of the Shinomiya family is in danger, they cannot afford to pay for it. The salary offered by the Shinomiya family is 10 times higher than that offered by outsiders, so they are not willing to lose this career. So when they found out that Oreki-san had taken action, they immediately took action. Just when he caught up, he suddenly stopped. Because they were stopped. A girl from Ziozi Academy with purple hair and a hairpin stopped them. The girl looked expressionless, but she seemed to be following some order. It has the same aura as them, that is, the aura of being employed. And she was holding a suitcase in her hand. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Maesumi Kamuro. I am currently employed by Houtarou Oreki. And the order he issued was this. Buy 1 hour of Shinomiya Kaguya. I can confirm that we can definitely protect her safety, but I'm sorry that I can't let you go there anymore. So please only follow me here. The two bodyguards looked at each other. What if I choose not to? So the purple-haired girl directly pushed the suitcase she was carrying. Haha, are you trying to buy them off with money? The two bodyguards stood up straight. We are the bodyguards of the Shinomiya family. Please don't insult us. The Shinomiya family is the family that is said to be a money-printing machine, so how can it be possible that it is short of money? Even those who work as bodyguards are highly qualified. Maesumi Kamuro opened the box together with an expressionless expression. The appearance of banknotes was revealed. This made the bodyguard want to laugh, but his eyes quickly widened. Damn it! They are all 10,000 yen bills. The two bodyguards looked at each other again. They all saw the wavering in the other person's eyes. Yes. The money given by the Shinomiya family is very high, but, the other party now gives too much. Price enough for them to fail and run away. And it only takes an hour. The deal went through. The two unyielding bodyguards began to give up their actions. Mission completed by Maesumi Kamuro. And the other side. Oreki looked at the message he received on his phone from Kamuro-san. Just like in a Kyosei high school, this Kamuro classmate won his heart. Then he turned his attention to Kagaya Shinomiya, who was looking at the shelves curiously, showing the surprise that only a child would have. It's quite easy to gain Kagaya Shinomiya's favor. Because she is now in a state of being a fool, which means she is easily deceived. Now being able to shop freely is what she wants to accomplish. So just leave her alone. It was only when he got a little closer that he realized something was wrong. A pen only costs 100 yen. It only costs 100 yen. Of course Kagaya knows currency conversion, but she has no real sense of money. It's only 100 yen. By the way, if I buy it for 100 yen, will it be poisonous? Kagaya asked Oreki-senpai in disbelief while holding a blue ballpoint pen. This made Oreki-san almost in disbelief. Wow! What kind of eldest lady is she who is isolated from the world? Oreki-san had only come from an ordinary and upper-class family before, so he was very clear about civilian life and money matters. And then also interested in money. But after completing the number of over 100 million in Yuchin High School and gaining superpowers to make more money, he felt bored and felt that money was just a number. So the mood became very calm. But Kagaya's way of growing up still amazed him. Although there is a saying that you get what you pay for. But for many things, the more expensive the better, some very expensive things are only sold for their brand and value. But the practicality may not necessarily be high. So this 100 yen pen can also be used. Rather, the price is very popular. Oreki-san said. And there is a budget estimate conducted by Hayasaka-san on the right side of the list, right? Kagaya took out the list and looked at it. Sure enough, there are 12 ballpoint pens, priced at 100-200 yen each. It's because her knowledge reserve is insufficient. And the other side. At the same time, Moai, the younger sister from the junior high school next door, came to her sister's academy. By the way, I haven't seen President Oreki. Moha looked around and said, besides, Shinomiya-senpai didn't see it either. As Chika's younger sister, she already knew about the replacement of the student council president of her sister's high school department. It's a pity, Moai said. Because of her concern for Shirogane-san, she is actually a little interested in Oreki-senpai, whom Sioke wants to help. She even managed to get Oreki-senpai to fake a relationship with her sister to increase her popularity. Result: the other party is quite naughty. In less than a week, he became the student council president of Ziozi Academy's high school department. This development surprised even her. It made her think that maybe she had made a mistake and that the senior Oreki might be something extraordinary. So, if Oreki-senpai wants to take action, Sioke's side can't stand up to the senior at all. So out of a desire to protect Zyogui, Moai decided to explore the enemy. However, the other party is not here. Yes, Oreki-san and Kagaya-san went shopping together for the welcome party. Chika said, I also want to go shopping with Kagaya-san. That's it? Moha gently tapped her lower lip, and then said terrible words, so, will Oreki-senpai be interested in Shinomiya-senpai? Chika Fujiwara looked over instantly. Moha immediately said, Shinomiya-senpai is very cute. I want to give her all the good things. I just want to keep her in her room and never let her out. So, who wouldn't like such a cute Kaguya-senpai? And Oreki-senpai is not only handsome, but also a man of great ability, but even for such a person, it is still difficult to resist when facing the top position of the Shinomiya family. Moai paused deliberately. It was very obvious what he wanted to say. But she knew this was her sister's lifeblood. Sister Chika has a cheerful personality and can make friends with others quickly, so she has many friends, but she has always wanted to be Shinomiya Kaguya's best friend. I feel that senior sister Shinomiya looks cold and distant, but she must be a good child and I can't ignore her. So I value Kaguya Shinomiya very much, as if she were a treasure. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yu Yet. Chapter 735. And now? Is this treasure in danger? It's impossible, but Chika said. Oreki-san likes Ichino-san. And Shinomiya-san cannot fall in love casually. I still understand this very well. Is it? Who is this Ichino-san? But in other words, Oreki-senpai actually has his heart, so Xiaoke will be safe here. So she felt at ease. In this way, time passes. The venue for the welcome party to welcome French students was the school auditorium. After arranging a group of volunteers to handle chores, the preparations for the welcome party were already in full swing. First of all, it is a long table that is often seen in movies and TV shows, which requires a beautiful tablecloth, and then a variety of food must be prepared on it. Is there anything that's troubling you? Oreki-san suddenly stood behind Ichino's and said. There are still 3 days until the welcome party, but the scene has almost become ready to be held at any time. He just took Kamuro-san, a close friend, to the principal's office to check the principal's presence, so that he would not continue to cause trouble. When he came back, Oreki found that there were only Kaguya, Chika, and Hayasaka in the student union classroom. The accountant Hanami Ichino's was nowhere to be seen. Oreki-san thought about it and found her in the fully decorated auditorium. But he found Ichino sitting in a corner and sighing. President Oreki. Ichino seemed to be startled when Oreki-san's voice appeared, but she felt a little relieved when she realized it was Oreki-san. But there was a trace of sadness on his face. She is a very optimistic child and one who can hide her emotions. I just don't want my high school life to be a complete failure. Especially Oreki-san recommended her to join the student union and gave her a chance. So she asked cautiously, President Oreki, apart from the fact that the welcome party will be held in French this time, as a member of the student council, does everyone need to be present? It stands to reason that it is necessary. Oreki-san nodded. Oh, Ichino seemed a little disappointed. Will it be held as a dance? Or do you need to prepare a dress yourself? I have considered this possibility. Oreki-san understood what Ichino's meant by asking. She is a poor child. If there is a dance and she has to meet people, she does not have such a thing as a dress. Although the family's economy has improved and has reached the standards of ordinary people, high-end things like dresses are not something ordinary people can prepare casually. Thinking about this, Oreki-san said directly, but it basically won't happen. Why? Ichino's blinked. Because prom means going to dance. He said, it's easy to spark sparks in dancing. I'm already ready to study in high school, so, I will never allow others to kiss me in front of me. This made Ichino's eyes open wider. President, are you a member of the FFF group? Probably so. Oreki-san nodded indifferently, so you don't have to worry at all. Of course, if you accept my confession, then I may change my mind. Meow meow. Ichino's blushed instantly. Fortunately, Oreki-san did not continue this topic. And Oreki-san said, about the costume preparations this time. Originally I thought it needed to be more grand, but considering that we are all students, I have already sent an email to the student council president of the other academy, hoping that they will come wearing their uniforms that day. We are also wearing uniforms. This is the communication between students. We also considered what would happen if they had more fun, so we made accommodation in dormitories and so on. Oh. Itchy Nose quickly took out a notebook to record. If you are arranging accommodation, it will indeed become very troublesome, so you need to consider the possible problems in more detail. Oreki-san smiled when he saw Ichino's serious look. In fact, he had just directly and easily solved the problem that Ichino's was facing. But Oreki-san also noticed that Ichino's face was not completely relieved yet. So, are there any other problems? Oreki-san asked again. This made Ichino's hand holding the pen pause. Okay, President, please don't laugh at me. Ichino said sheepishly, actually, I have never participated in such an event, so I am worried that it will embarrass the student union. I have no idea about etiquette or anything like that. This. Oreki-san touched his chin. Indeed, the growing environment is very important. There are some things that you don't need to learn, you can only know them through hearing and seeing. And Oreki has memory fragments of Ishigami Yu's identity here. Although he is just an adopted son, he has been taken to many high society banquets by his eldest brother, and naturally he has also learned the etiquette of high society. So this is hard equipment. But it was still too difficult for Ichino's. Okay, Oreki-san nodded. Then I'll tell you how to do these high-class etiquette. Hey. Is that okay? There are only 2 days until the welcome party. Ichino's looked greatly surprised. Probably she also feels that this kind of etiquette takes some time to become familiar with and then become proficient in it. It's a bit difficult, but it should be fine, Oreki-san said. Although Chika is a very motherly and good teacher in the original novel, after all, she kicked Chika out of the position of student council president, and she feels a little guilty on her conscience, so Oreki-san has not gone too far to use Chika. And he also has some experience in teaching Sakura. Therefore, it is not a mistake now, and we can even gain more experience in teaching others from Ichino's, which can be applied to Sakura when she returns to Akyosei High School. So he decided to do it himself. Then, please. But Ichino's bowed to Oreki-san seriously. Yet Oreki-san nodded, but suddenly said, I can't hear you. Please. I can't hear you. Be calm and crisp when answering others. Please, President Oreki. I'm training you now, so you have to call me coach. Do it again. Please, teach, coach. Can't hear it? Please, coach. Good. Tomorrow is the official welcome party. Today is the final training. So please take it seriously and put on this maid outfit now. Don't worry, it's customized to fit your body shape. Oreki-san left Ichino's in the gym. Yes, it's the instructor. Ichino's had no choice but to obey the instructions honestly. She can enter Ziozi Academy and have some friends in the school. Of course she cannot be an idiot. So it is clear that this kind of dressing up is definitely not a matter of academic etiquette. It is probably the personal preference of Senior Oreki-san. Although it's a bit excessive, it seems acceptable. So I obediently put the book on my head, held my head high and formally walked forward. Oreki took out his cell phone and took a few photos. In the photo, Ichino-san looks very cute with a blushing face and a sense of shame. But it can also be confirmed that the other party's heart is shaken very much. This feels like a tie. In the precognitive dream, Oreki was a little at a loss by Ichino's, but now, he can return everything. The next day, the French students finally arrived. There are 88 students in total. Shichi Academy also selected 88 students plus 4 students from the student council. This ensures that French students will not be left alone, everyone will have someone to talk to, and they will not be left out. Certainly. According to Oreki-san's policy, men are next to men and women are next to women. He would not agree with whether a boy is responsible for a girl or a girl is responsible for a boy. As an energy-saving person, I don't want anything to happen. And these selected students only have one requirement: they can speak French. It seems difficult to be a person, but this is Shichi Academy, and it is normal for a person to learn several languages. There is no native soil here in Ichino's, so he only knows a few simple greetings. Oreki-san took her with him. Chapter 353 Futaba is really capable. President Oreki Ichino's followed Oreki-san and found that even when he was facing these French students, he could treat them calmly, politely, and gracefully, which he found very impressive. How can I act as calm as you? This. Oreki-san didn't think about this issue. Because what to say? He can act so calm, not nervous at all, it's simple. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yet. Chapter 736. Because when I was in Akusei High School, the shame of being screwed by Sakayanagi Arasu was gone. Only. His plan obviously couldn't be taught to Ichino's. In short, it's just a normal mind, he said. As a student of Shichi Academy, you must have confidence. This is the most important thing. Oh. Ichino's nodded. I feel I gained a lot. But Oreki sighed inwardly. He actually disagreed with the school's false propaganda of fairness, and then deliberately recruited students for ordinary people, but set the entry scores very high. Because the children elected in this way are elites, but in this aristocratic and luxurious scene, it is easy for them to become confused, even have low self-esteem, or be bullied. The final result may be worse than not coming to this school. Oreki looked at the problem from the perspective of the student council president. When he spotted Shinomiya Kagaya, he gently patted her on the shoulder. The rest is up to you. The student council president of the other party is a girl, so it would be better if you go and chat with her. Why? President Oreki is obviously the president, and I am the vice president. Just as Kagaya was speaking, she found Oreki-san looking at her phone. What was on the phone was "Please come to the French school, our school blah blah blah." The student council president of the other party asked for Oreki-san's contact information and then wanted to poach him. After all, this face is outstanding. It's so real. So, Kagaya walked out. You are welcome to come from afar. She is Kagaya Shinomiya. She is not only famous in this land, but the name Shinomiya is also ranked very high in the world. With such a status and being the eldest daughter, no one dared to persuade her to go to France. Sure enough, the French Student Council president smiled awkwardly and did not dare to pester Oreki-san anymore. N.A. Kagaya-san. Kinhua has gained high praise from some French students because her mother is a diplomat and she knows more than a dozen foreign languages. When she found Kagaya-san alone, she immediately slipped over. I feel like your relationship with Oreki-senpai has gotten much better, she said. Kagaya was puzzled. Is there any? Yes, it was a bit tit for tat at first. I'm so happy, Mom, Kinhua said, patting her chest gently. Are you, Mommy? Kagaya couldn't help but complain. But Kinhua is still quite relieved. Because Oreki-senpai has been in contact with Ichino-san recently, so he said that his thoughts are always with Ichino's, but he definitely does not mean that towards Shinomiya-san. At the same time, Kagaya-san has no symptoms of falling in love, so everyone is safe. But Oreki-san stayed in the corner. Why are you here alone? Oreki-san noticed that someone had iced his cheek with a juice cup. The opponent's hands were quite white. At the same time, she has beautiful black straight hair. but she was wearing a white rabbit-patterned hairpin. And this person is not a stranger. I don't like this scene very much, Oreki-san said. Also, congratulations, you have found yourself again. Because the person who appeared in front of him was none other than Mai Sakurajima, a senior from class A of the 3rd grade and a classmate of Maesumi Kamuro. The problem of transparency appeared in the original work and now, but he threw it to Futaba. Just that she can appear here today shows that she has regained her sense of existence. It's no longer transparent. It's Futaba's fault, Sakurajima-senpai said. Mai Sakurajima was thrown to Futaba by Oreki, and Futaba believed that the occurrence of extraordinary phenomena was a psychological problem. The first person responsible for psychological problems is the family. So I investigated Mai Sakurajima's family situation. As a result, she solved the problem in her own way. Then what are you going to do next? Oreki said. Mai Sakurajima had a bad relationship with her mother because she felt that her mother didn't love her and regarded her as a cash cow, so she stopped acting directly. Mai's mother seems to be unkind, but many people say that it is to expand Sakurajima Mai's acting route. According to the original route, the roles she can take are very narrow. And now that Futaba has solved her family's family problems, the two mother and daughter should be able to bury the hatchet. I'll probably start filming again, Mai Sakurajima said. Boyle. This is the same as the original work. She really likes filming. Then let me drag you into the student union, Oreki said. If you can be protected by Shinomiya Kagaya, your future will be much more stable. There are black parts in the entertainment industry, but if you have enough power to support you, you can ensure your safety. Like Sakura-san in a precognitive dream. But Mai did not refuse this. Rather, she will come to this school and stay, partly because she is thinking about whether she should establish interpersonal relationships for future development. It's just that she has been stagnant until she and her mother have settled their differences. And now, maybe there is motivation to take action. Then there is no reason to refuse. Being in the same student union, we can directly contact Shinomiya Kagaya. Just a little bit of the Shinomiya family's aura is enough to protect her. I accept your kindness, so my senpai didn't hold back. But, I always feel like you are making arrangements for us. Could it be that you don't want to stay in school for a long time? There is no need for sensitivity in this area. Soon. The welcome party for French students ended. They stayed that night. After receiving the breakfast prepared by the academy the next day, they all took the plane back to their academy after 10 o'clock. It got very good reviews. In the early morning, before the first class started, members of the student union sat in the student union office to take a break and drink tea. At the same time, review and summarize. But don't slow down the collection of data. Oreki-san said, Secretary Fujiwara, how are you doing with the collection of chat records between volunteers and French students that you were asked to take charge of? It's still being collected, but why do we have to do this? Isn't this a bit of a violation of privacy? Kinhua didn't understand what Oreki-san meant by doing this. He does not object to students exchanging email addresses with each other, but it is limited to the exchange of email addresses. Then, now they even want to read each other's chat history. It's a bit too strict. It is easy to cause students to rebel. This is for the physical and mental development of the students. Oreki-san said, you have to learn to recognize people and objects. It will be very bad if you are deceived. So bad words like proactive invitations to go out on dates or to meet in France need to be caught. Otherwise it would be terrible if our students were really cheated and couldn't face the parents who sent them to school. Oreki-san is serious and upright. Well, President Oreki does care about his students. Kagaya said, so, screen out all the provocative records. Then it was sent to the French school. It was nominally a written document of the friendly conversation during this exchange, but some unsightly chat records were put at the top. I think the school would understand. Kaguya is indeed worthy of being Kaguya. If she does this, the boys who participated in seducing the girls from Shichi Academy will be completely ruined. Oreki-san has no objection. But he wasn't that extreme. It's just because whether it's Yuchin High School or here, he actually feels that it's easier to manage without a couple. And if there are fewer couples and Shichi Academy has no couples, wouldn't it be safer for Ichino-san? And if the school atmosphere is smoother, he will probably leave here. After all, the mission is completed. Then Oreki said, I am ready to recommend a new appointment. Could it be that? Seeing Oreki's actions, Shinomiya Kaguya's ruby-like pupils looked over immediately. It's not about changing the positions of student council president or vice president. These two positions have already been played to pieces. If you play them again, you will lose credibility, Oreki said. Is it? Kaguya responded, as long as she didn't destroy these two positions again, then she had no objection. She, Kaguya Shinomiya, also wants to be embarrassed. In fact, I'm quite angry. I fell for Oreki's trick without checking it for a while, and almost ruined the Shinomiya family's reputation. The positions of the president and vice president remain unchanged, while Fujiwara-senpai will continue to serve as Secretary Fujiwara. Hayasaka-san has also passed the assessment, and I think she can serve as the accountant. So we have two accountants. Accountant 1 Hanamai Ichinos. Accountant 2 Hayasaka AI. So is it just to promote Hayasaka-san? Not really. I invite my Sakurajima from class of the third year to join the student council, Oreki said. In terms of position, it's just chores. Hayasaka AI. Although she has been promoted, it now sounds more like Oreki-senpai gave up her position to Sakurajima-senpai. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yu Yet. Chapter 737. Is it really okay to let third-year students join the student union now? Kaguya said immediately. Because third graders can only stay in school for more than half a year, and then they will graduate. Because I'm a fan of hers, Oreki said. So I want her to join the student union. XN. Everyone was speechless for a moment. Because is there such a thing? Only. She is going to make a comeback recently. However, considering that most of her previous filming started as a child star, it is relatively safe. But now that she has grown up, she is worried about problems when she takes on roles. So she needs someone to protect her and avoid some the bad guys are targeting you, Oreki continued. But Shinomiya Kaguya. She felt that Oreki-senpai would have to directly name her to take responsibility. This is to pull the tiger's skin out of her Shinomiya family. What did Oreki Houtarou think of her? A big banner specifically for him to handle things. As he continued to inform, Oreki paused. Did he? Because at this time, he received an email on his mobile phone. It was Sakurajima Mai who sent a message. I returned to the set today, and I was a little nervous. This is really abnormal. In the past, there was nothing scary about facing the camera all the time. I will participate in the live broadcast of the entertainment news station at 8 p.m. The host will introduce my comeback. If you are interested, you can come to the TV station to visit. And then there's a bunch of addresses. Oh. That's it? Then it has nothing to do with him. After all, Oreki is here to complete a mission, not to fall in love with Bunny Girl Senpai. Especially. There is a pile of documents on the table that the student council president needs to deal with. So Oreki was prepared to refuse. Drop. And at this time. Congratulations to the host for triggering the special side mission. Background: there are some abnormalities in this world, and the integration of the world is abnormal. Task requirement: exploring and verifying the name of the world to be integrated into, in order to prevent the occurrence of mutations. Task reward, timeout card. Task penalty, none. Oreki. Is it? It gets complicated. So is it because of puberty syndrome that the supernormal reaction occurred? Then. He looked at the pile of papers on the table, then at the three other members of the student council. First look at Shinomiya Kagaya. Shinomiya-san, I believe you are a person who can take the lead. Fujiwara-senpai, come on, you are the best. Hasaka-san, you have just been promoted. This is an opportunity to make good use of your current whetstone. Oreki looked at the cute girl with long golden pink hair, paused for 2 seconds, and then said, Ichino-san, come on. The student council members who were suddenly encouraged looked confused. But Oreki-san left the student union early. Because I just received a text message from my Sakurajima, and then triggered a new mission. So it's most direct to go directly to Sakurajima-mai's place to investigate. In this way, Oreki-san went directly to the TV station according to the address. What Mai gave was the address of Japan TV station. Since Mai had said hello, Oreki-san passed the security inspection smoothly and went directly to the backstage. He usually watched it on TV, but it felt very fresh to actually be there. It's just that he hasn't met Mai yet, but Oreki-san saw a creature that lit up his eyes. To be precise, he saw a cute little, elementary school student. Why are there primary school students here? Next, let's invite the Sakura group to sing. Then the host's voice was heard calling these elementary school students in red skirts to come on stage. But I also heard strange voices, like this, Sakuraden went too far this time. Because she was scolded by Roswal, she took her anger out on Emilia. Roswal, this name seems familiar. But, Emilia. Is there anything wrong with this? Oreki looked into space. A prompt has appeared on the system's screen. Congratulations to the host for being exposed to the information of 3 new worlds. Please fill in the real name of the new world. Then 3 spaces appeared on the screen. It seemed that he was required to fill in the name of the world that had merged into it as an anomaly. Chapter 354 Emilia without elf ears is not the real Emilia. Up. Oreki didn't fill it out immediately. He was thinking about the system prompt just now. Congratulations to the host for being exposed to the information of 3 new worlds. Please fill in the real name of the new world. The system prompted information that it had come into contact with 3 new worlds, but simple Emilia can conclude that this is a character from ReZero. And what are the names of the other 2 known worlds? And it also reminded him that he had already been contacted. Oreki-san stayed behind the scenes, while the elementary school members of Sakuraden appeared on the stage, with a cameraman filming live. I didn't expect you to actually come. And Oreki-san was lightly tapped on the shoulder. It's my Sakurajima. Oreki-san turned his head and saw a bright girl. Makeup, Oreki-san said, looking at Mai's slightly different attire from usual. You always have to dress up a bit when you go on TV, my Sakurajima complained. Because of the camera and other reasons, my appearance needs to be more prominent. Will I feel ugly? Although she was very confident just now, my senpai suddenly became less confident. No, I feel very bright. Oreki-san said honestly. And I think she looks great with or without makeup. Yes, is that so? That's it? The atmosphere suddenly became silent. And Oreki also found that what he said seemed a bit ambiguous. So keep quiet. From the stage, Sakuraden members were jumping and singing. The music is quite lively, and their timbres are okay, but they always give off an ordinary feeling, as if they will soon be drowned in the torrent of idols. Looking at their appearance, Oreki felt that he had vaguely seen them somewhere, but he couldn't remember them. Speaking of which, are you going to announce your comeback through a direct TV interview today? Oreki-san broke the silence and said, if you need me to do something, then that's okay. These words surprised Sakurajima Mai. Because he had finally entrusted Futaba with her when she became transparent. While getting along with Futaba, she learned from Futaba that Oreki Houtarou is a person who hates trouble and likes to save energy. Results now. Actually wanted to help. These words made Sakurajima Mai stare at him back and forth for more than a dozen times. Ahem, plus Oreki-san was a little embarrassed when she looked at him. Actually, I have some questions I want to ask you. Oh. However, Sakurajima-senpai thinks this is more normal. Although I am from the Futaba gang, you are also a recommender, my Sakurajima said. So tell me. I know what I'm going to answer. Profound. Then you are such a good senior. Speaking of which, I just heard the staff complaining about Roswal and Emilia. What do these two people do? Oreki-san asked seemingly casually. Roswal is a very powerful composer and lyricist. He used to be a famous rock singer, but for some reason, he gave up halfway and became a composer and songwriter. Emilia is the gem he unearthed. It's not a formal debut yet, and now he's just participating in the recording of fringe singing programs. Even if I am not involved in the singing industry, I know that Emilia is very talented. As long as you give her a chance, she can fly. Mai became a child star at the age of 6 and has continued to have nearly 10 years of acting experience. It can be said that she is a senior in the entertainment industry. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yu Yet. Chapter 738. Being praised by her means that Emilia is of good quality. Puff. Oreki-san almost laughed out loud. Both Roswal and Emilia came from the different world from Zero, which was a king selecting different world, and Roswal was still a pervert. He became an artist, which is somewhat normal. After all, many artists are a little unusual. But Emilia became an idol. In Oreki-san's mind, a silver-haired girl stretched out the purple lace of her white casual clothes and smiled cutely. Please support me. Please vote for me. Make such a sound of support. It's indeed, quite cute. But this Emilia may not be having a good life, Oreki-san said. The staff just said that something happened to Sakuraden. Now she is in trouble. Is it retaliation? Mai gently held her chin. Let's go and take a look. Why is it like this? If it's because you were scolded by me, then come to me. Walking towards the backstage room, I heard a man's voice. That was Roswal's voice. He seemed to be scolding a girl with red hair. Looking through the crack in the door, the girl is very cute. Pink hair, covering the left eye, small body, slender body. He lowered his head and looked like he was being criticized. Then there is an angel with long silver hair in the room. This is a girl with waist-length silver hair. Her silver hair is braided. He has blue-purple eyes full of intelligence. The soft facial features are both gorgeous and childish, making people feel an inexplicable sense of nobility and temperament. There were 3 people inside. The one who spoke was Roswal. Because the man did not deserve an introduction, he ignored it, and the one with reddish-pink hair was Ram. As for the angel with long silver hair, it's naturally Emilia. Oreki-san stood at the door. Surprisingly, it's really Emilia. Emilia comes from ReZero. But Oreki only read the manga when he was in contact with Hiri, but didn't finish it. However, I still understand the basic character relationships and experiences. Generally speaking, people who can be around idols are either managers or candid photographers. Obviously, apart from Roswal, who is a composer, Ram is probably Emilia's manager. That. Although he was being scolded, Ram just looked at him with hatred for himself. It seems that Emilia in this world is also having a hard time. Through the half-open door, Oreki-san and Mai senpai were able to see the scene inside. Emilia was sitting on a chair, and a white dress was displayed on the brown table. It seemed to be a performance costume, but someone had poured purple juice on her chest. "Won't you buy it for her?" Roswal was still very angry and stared at Miss Ram. "If you go and buy it, then maybe this will not happen to Amelia." He directly questioned Miss Ram, who was standing on one side with her head lowered. It seems that the elementary school students of Sakuraden asked Amelia, a newcomer, to buy a drink, and then took advantage of the opportunity to pour the drink on her costume. She won't be able to go on stage later. It's really a child's revenge. However, Oreki felt that he had vaguely seen this kind of petty behavior before. Before Ram could reply, Roswal continued, "Even if you were here, it would be the same. As long as they have this intention, they can't stop it. Dash. Yes, as long as you have the intention to do bad things, you will do them, but it is not that easy to stop. This is the truth. As soon as Sakuraden's recording is over, it's your show. How can you face the audience in such costumes?" Roswal was furious. "Then let's advance my talk show." Mai opened the door and walked in. "Then give Amelia some time to prepare her clothes again. Sakurahime-senpai." Amelia's eyes became dull due to passive acceptance of criticism, but their eyes lit up the moment she saw Mai senpai. It seems that he knows that Oreki-san doesn't know about their relationship. Mai explained to Oreki-san, "She and I are in the same office, so I can help as much as I can." "I see. That's it?" Roswal's mood seemed to be more stable. But Oreki-san looked at him calmly. Roswal in the original novel is a very good actor, so from his character to his current expression, what was just accused of Ram was most likely just a show. "Yes. I just want to show it to Sakurajima Mai. Because..." Roswal started cursing when he found Mai standing at the door. Then he took a good look at the indoor scene. Amelia's costume was wet, yes, but the degree of wetness was not the same as when Oreki-san met the Sakuraden members who went out. Therefore, the probability of this being a game is very high. In order to let Mai senpai help Amelia. Amelia is a newcomer. If she can get the favor or guidance of her seniors, it will be very beneficial in the future. And someone like Mai is a powerful person who has been working for 10 years, so if she helps, she can give a lot of signals. In other words, Roswal is setting up a trap for Mai, creating the impression that Amelia is miserable and being bullied, so she asks Mai to take the initiative to take care of Amelia. It seems that this is the only way. Roswal seemed to sigh, "We must not make such a mistake next time." "I understand." Ram lowered his head deeply and said. Roswal walked out at this time. "I'm causing trouble for you." Amelia walked up to Mai embarrassedly and said, "Sakurahime-senpai, please worry. It's okay. Just talk to the director about this kind of thing." Mai comforted Amelia. "Then I wanted to go out and find the director." "Wait a minute." But Oreki-san directly grabbed her arm. Mai looked over in confusion. "No need to go to such trouble," Oreki-san said. Mai blinked. "Then I remembered that I forgot to introduce a few people to each other. This is my friend, Oreki-san." Mai first introduced Oreki-san. "Then this is Amelia from the same company." "Hello. I'm Amelia." As a friend of her seniors, Amelia was still nervous. Ram. Amelia's manager's tone was calmer. It was indeed Amelia and Ram. Oreki-san took the initiative and reached out to Ram. Although Ram had a straight face, he still held it politely. But the moment he held it, Oreki lowered his voice and said, "This game is quite interesting. What will happen if I let Mai senpai know that this is your conspiracy? Will Amelia be banned from the industry?" Oreki-san's voice was very soft, but it was undoubtedly like a bolt from the blue when it fell on Ram's ears. Haha, she wanted to stay calm. But his eyes have already fluctuated. "Originally, I was not sure whether you really set up a trap for Mai to take advantage of her, but now I can confirm that it is indeed the case. In your schedule, it was not for today's activities, but for tomorrow. You should know that Mai is coming back today. That's why I came here to rub it in. It's really amazing. Oreki-san's voice was very low. Only Ram can hear it. But Ram almost lost his temper and stood there, at a loss. Actually, I have a solution. Oreki-san did not continue to hold Ram's hand, but stood up and said, "It will allow Miss Emilia to complete the performance in time." "Ken, is it okay?" Emilia was curious. And the senior sister also looked over. "Yes, you can. If you can't find other replacement costumes in time for Miss Emilia's performance, you can actually modify this costume." Oreki-san came to the table. Emilia's costume was on the table. This is a purple princess dress. It can be seen that the stylist has a good taste. Starting with Emilia's excessively white and silver hair, if it is a clean costume, it will definitely look good on her. Only the lower abdomen on the left side of the costume was splashed with red juice, which was very dazzling and destroyed the original purple feeling. I touched the fabric of the clothes with my hand, and the juice poured on it, but it didn't completely penetrate. It would be easier if that was the case. There are several members of Sakuraden, and they may share a lounge here. There were several bottles of unopened drinks on the table. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yet. Chapter 739. Drinks are different colors. Could it be that? Mai noticed that Oreki-san was looking at the drinks Emilia bought. There were many grape juices, orange juices, cantaloupe juices, and watermelon juices, so they had all the colors they should have. That is to say, splash it on. Mai finally came to her senses and said directly, "Since the clothes have been stained, use other colors to stain it and turn the initial flaws into decorations." This is a very good idea. Emilia also became pleasantly surprised. This is a solution that many people can think of. For example, if there is a hole in the clothes, if you just sew it up with a needle and thread, it will only become ugly. But if you embroider a butterfly or a bear on it, then it may be possible to make up for the original shortcomings. Not only that, it will also become more energetic. What a good idea. Mai felt that she already understood Oreki-san's thoughts, so she stood aside and gently pushed his arm with her hand. It turns out that Oreki-san has such a talent. Then let's do it quickly, Mai said enthusiastically. No, but Oreki-san didn't move. Mai looked at him puzzled. Oreki-san said, "What you said is possible, but it's too troublesome, and doing so would require changing Miss Emilia's appearance. It's almost impossible without delaying the appearance. So there could be an easier way." At this point, Oreki-san paused deliberately. And Emilia asked curiously, "What method?" Oreki-san glanced at Ram. "I think Miss Ram will know." Ram. Ram's body trembled slightly when his name was called out by Oreki-san. The movement is subtle. But Oreki-san has completely understood. Chapter 355. Emilia without elf ears is not the real Emilia. Next. But Oreki-san has completely understood. Roswal was really planning to take advantage of Mai, and even the situation where her clothes were stained might have been secretly arranged by Ram. The reason is to design a plan to make Mai sincerely help Emilia. But since it is a setup, there is naturally a possibility of success or loss. Need to make amends. Therefore, Roswal must have thought of a way. For example, there's a spare outfit stashed away right now. Or, like now. Emilia's purple dress was splashed with red. But there were several colors of drinks on the table. There is a piece of knowledge that everyone who studies painting knows. The three primary colors can be adjusted into many colors. And the color of the impurities is like the current red color. What color would it become if we added blue? It will turn purple. So, splashing a blue drink on the table, yes, the bottle of blueberry juice on the table, may solve the problem of stained clothes. Oreki-san feels that Ram already knew this. Seikuraden is about to step down, Oreki-san said, as if intentionally or unintentionally. Ram's eyes lowered a little. It took about 10 seconds for her to react. I just thought of it, Ram said. Would it be better if the red impurities were poured with blue juice? Unfortunately, except for Oreki-san, no one here knows much about painting. Ram had no choice but to popularize the knowledge, red plus blue equals green. So now pouring it with blueberry juice may have a good effect. Ah! Amelia clapped her hands gently happily. Look happy. Ram had already picked up the blue can, opened the opening, and then carefully applied the paint to the stained area of the clothes. Okay, so amazing. Amelia and my senpai are watching here. I found that the very eye-catching red was overlapped little by little, and then blended into the clothes. This is really amazing, Amelia clapped her hands gently and said. Then he looked at Mai and Oreki-san with an embarrassed look. Mai smiled and took Oreki-san's hand and walked outside the door, leaving the space for Amelia. Let her go change clothes. Then they came to the corridor together, and Mai pulled Oreki-san to sit on the resting chair outside. I really thanked you just now. Mai said proactively. What? Just now? Mai's voice was lowered. You stopped me. I know this must be Mr. Roswell's idea. Probably hoping to inspire my sympathy for Miss Amelia. It's very common for seniors to bully juniors here in Seikuraden, but direct bullying like this is a bit of a show. So he probably acted it out to me on purpose. I just sent a message to my mother, and she said that Miss Ram asked her about her schedule. So, I am sure that this time it is really a show. Mai finished speaking. In other words, my senpai saw through it. It seems that he is indeed an excellent senior, and he is very aware of these little tricks. But she was wrong in thinking that Oreki was trying to give her insight into Roswell's plan. Because Oreki was actually doing something rather dangerous just now. Because Amelia and the others came from ReZero, and that world was capable of fighting. Once magic enters this world, it will be dangerous for ordinary people in this world. And especially Roswell is a pervert in ReZero. So if the pervert had power, wouldn't the world be ravaged by him? But in the test just now, Ram was forced into a desperate situation and did not use extraordinary power, which shows that they did not carry the power of ReZero. Just regular people here. So it puts people's minds at ease. Only. By the way, your mother continues to be your manager, Oreki asked curiously. Yeah, Mai nodded. She is over there on the stage, Mai said. She still needs to make some preparations. Don't you need to change your makeup and clothes again? Oreki asked curiously. Because I'm an actor. Mai said, it's not like jumping around on the stage. So there's no need. Oreki-san nodded, I think you are pretty enough now. There is no need for any more makeup. Just after he finished speaking, he found Mai looking at him with her beautiful bright eyes. You really know how to talk. He was actually just telling the truth. After all, this bunny girl senior has a lot of books on Baika, so her charm can be confirmed. Also, congratulations on becoming the student council president, Mai added. Futaba said that you are not the kind of person who likes to walk to the front desk. Is it? Well, worthy of Futaba. Have come to know him so well. Because of some troublesome things, Oreki-san said. Originally, I just wanted to get Shinomiya Kagaya to join the student union, but she turned against me. Now both of them are working as coolies in the student union. That Shinomiya-san. Mai stood up gently. I always feel that she is different from before. Then it might be because of you. Why? Oreki-san looked up at her. Mai said, because a girl can become the fastest only if she falls in love. Profound. If it is Shinomiya Kaguya in the original work, then this is indeed the case. But for the current Shinomiya Kaguya, Oreki didn't think she would have such emotions. Because the favorability display only shows 10. This is a reassuring number. While talking to Mai, the door to the lounge had been opened. Emilia walked out with her boots on. She has long silver hair and a purple, slightly coquettish costume, paired with white stockings and boots. Oreki Houtarou's Strength First Classroom. Author, Yu Yet. Chapter 740. Emilia has a holy temperament, but packaged in this way, she has an air of maturity. Gives people a heart-beating impulse. It should be said that Roswal is still very discerning, and Emilia is indeed very beautiful. When Oreki-san's eyes fell on the silver-haired girl, the system's mechanical voice suddenly came from his mind. Congratulations to the host for triggering the side mission. Mission requirement, bring order to chaos. Task introduction, as Emilia, how can she not have a pair of elf ears? Please make a pair of elf ears for Emilia. Task duration, 10 minutes. Mission reward, mission supplement card. Oreki. Day. Task supplement card, it can give some tips for difficult tasks. Boil. So he looked at Sakuraden and felt that he had seen it somewhere, but he had no memory that could be used. Do you accept the mission? And now the system interface pops up. Yes. Oreki-san made a choice. Miss Amelia. It's time for you to take the stage. At this time, a female staff member wearing a black t-shirt trotted over to remind, the Sakura group will be over soon. Your show is next. Then there will be a comeback interview with Mai Sakurahime-san. After this announcement, Amelia became nervous. Oreki-san checked the system notifications. Mission deadline, 9 minutes and 20 seconds. There's some urgency. Oreki-san asked Mai, how long will Miss Amelia's show last? At least 15 minutes. Mai thought for a moment and said, after singing the song, there will be some questions and information. And this is her first official appearance in front of the camera, so she will be given more opportunities, at least 15 minutes. 15 minutes, isn't this the mission coming to an end? Oreki-san immediately looked at Mai and said, Mai senpai, go talk to the director and change your program first. Oreki-san immediately asked Mai for help. Mai glanced at Oreki-san strangely. But although there were questions in her heart, Mai still nodded. I'm going to ask the director. With that said, she walked directly to the stage for recording. Ram and Emilia looked at Oreki-san in confusion. That's actually true. Oreki-san felt two eyes, one was Emilia's pure curiosity and confusion. The other one came from the red-haired Miss Ram. Ram stared at him with puzzled and wary eyes. This made him wary. This is understandable. The situation between her and Roswal was solved directly by Oreki-san, and Ram's name was deliberately called out, leaving her passive and could only clean up the mess. It can be said that Mai will no longer help them. Their plan failed. But at this time, why did Oreki-san ask Mai to say hello? This greeting was very beneficial to Amelia. First, for the old members of Sakuraden, they knew that their side deliberately spilled juice on Amelia's costume and did something bad. However, the result was that the program was changed, and it was Sakurajima Mai, a powerful figure in the entertainment industry, who came to intercede. What does this mean? It means that Emilia may have been covered by her. So Sakuraden may no longer bully Emilia. So good for Emilia. Furthermore, if Sakurajima Mai takes action, some people may think that Mai wants to take care of this newcomer in the same company. And this is even more helpful for newcomers like Emilia. You know, Mai has been in the industry for 10 years. Even though she is in the entertainment industry, she is still a capable person. So many people will give face. Really good development for Amelia. Of course, this will depend on my subsequent statement. But now, Oreki-san, who has seen through her and Mr. Roswell's plan, why did he do this? Ram was puzzled. Of course she doesn't know. Oreki-san just wants to complete the system's tasks. Amelia needs to be given elf ears. It seems difficult, because can human ears be changed? But don't forget. There is one called makeup. So. After thinking for a moment, Oreki-san said, because I found a way to enhance Miss Amelia's appearance. I have made some achievements in dressing, Oreki-san said seriously. Then, I think Amelia wants to succeed in her debut. It needs to be transformed. He spoke and smiled. After all, he had the temperament to attract girls in a school. When he deliberately showed good intentions, the attraction was very strong. Yes, but, can I? Amelia was immediately frightened by him. And Oreki-san nodded. Okay. Miss Ram, don't you think Miss Amelia would be very unique if she were made up as an elf? Elf. That is, long ears. Amelia. A very distinctive image immediately appeared in Ram's mind. Very good, Ram has been fooled now too. Let me borrow some props, Oreki-san said, and directly held Amelia's slender hand that had already put on a white glove with his right hand. Oreki-san took Amelia back to the lounge. For makeup, you can use various makeup materials to pile on the ears bit by bit. But if you want to have elf ears, there are actually special props. Please wait for me. Ram probably thought this plan was feasible, so he got busy immediately. She wasn't sure whether Oreki-san was a good guy or a bad guy, but she just imagined that Amelia-sama had elf ears, and she felt it instantly. Isn't that the most suitable? If you use this image to appear, then it may really be a big success. And very quickly. Amelia, put this on. Ram took out a pair of elf's pointed ears. Drop. Congratulations to the host for completing the side mission, bringing order to the chaos. Get the mission supplement card. Oreki-san was satisfied. Because at this time, Amelia's pair of long elf ears appeared in the mirror. Very beautiful. Very suitable. Ram looked at Amelia and couldn't help but said. Yes, is that so? Amelia stared at herself in the mirror curiously. I always feel that it is a bit unexpectedly suitable for elf ears. But Oreki-san is no longer interested in her. Thank you very much, Mr. Oreki-san. I always think it will leave a new impression on the audience. Amelia herself reached out and touched the elf ear prop. Well, I wish you success. Oreki-san stretched out his hand and shook her gently, then walked out without any hesitation. Only Ram's complicated eyes were left. 20 minutes later. Amelia's show officially begins. My senpai's comeback interview has ended. I saw a purple elf appear on the stage. Her silver hair and long ears make her so conspicuous, and her pure appearance and beautiful temperament seem to be able to catch people's heartbeats. Her singing voice is beautiful and has the ability to suck away people's souls.